G'day guys, I'm going to make a few more improvements on the little Kubota today. I've had a lot of comments on how I can improve it and make it a bit more safe, so I'll follow some of the viewer suggestions. I've had a lot of comments about these tyres being the wrong way around. The tread pattern is supposed to face forward. I think that's mainly to do with shedding mud off the tread when you're going along. How it is now, the mud tends to stay in the tread and you can lose traction. Whereas if you turn these so that the tread is facing forward, as you're driving, it pushes the mud out. I don't do a lot of work in muddy areas, but it seems to be hurting quite a few people's eyes, so I'll swap those around. And I'll try and turn these rims around like that. The center of the rim is closer to this side, so if I turn those around, that might give me a wee bit more width, which will make it a bit more stable. These things are fairly tippy, so anything I can do to improve stability has got to be a good thing. I'm not sure if you can swap these front wheels around. If you can, it would bring them way out here, I think, which would probably put too much stress on that steering knuckle. So I think I'll leave those alone. These pivot arms, or whatever they're called, they get quite dry and they're obviously going to wear out with no grease in there. Someone has suggested drilling a grease nipple into the top, which I think is quite a good idea, so then you can just keep it pumped up with grease, so I'll do that as well. And also the previous owner has given me the roll bar for it. He took it off because it was always getting snagged on branches. Got a couple of clamps at this end, which go around this axle housing here, so I'll clamp that back on. Once I've done all that, I've got a little job for it down the hill. There's a narrow little track down there where some trees have blown over a couple of years ago, so I'll take it down there and pull those trees out. Looks like we've got another problem here. That is oil leaking from the final drive. So we'll have to replace that seal before too long. It isn't leaking much, but that's only going to get worse. It'll be that seal on there. So that's made a big difference. You can see this side out to there compared with this one. So that's given it another 3 inches maybe on either side. That's going to make a huge difference to the stability, I think. That's looking like a proper tractor now. That's widened it up considerably. Definitely worth doing that. I was thinking maybe you could turn this whole final drive around to lower the tractor, because that's on like a offset gear there. But I noticed there are some locating dowels there, so possibly not. And there's one at the bottom as well, so you might not be able to do that. That would be quite good to be able to turn that whole thing around, which would lower the tractor, bring down the centre of gravity and move those rear wheels out slightly, but I'm not sure. Someone might know. Can you turn those around or not? The other problem I would encounter there if I did that is that the rollover bar wouldn't fit. It would twist this around, which would bring the rollover bar forward, so I don't know if I can do that. So I'll put a bit of grease in there just to help it slide on and stop the rust a wee bit. Someone's put a lot of time into making this. It's pretty sturdy. They've done a good job of it. it's all bolted on. It is very close to that gear lever there, but it seems to go through okay. That's okay. So that's the roll bar on. We'll have to watch out for it hitting branches, because if you hit a big branch with that, it's probably just going to tip the tractor over backwards. So between widening those wheels and the roll bar, that's a much safer tractor now. Those front wheels do fit the other way around, but it doesn't quite look right to me. It looks like there'll be too much leverage on that steering knuckle, and it could cause major problems. I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Let me know in the comments. Is it designed to be that far out? Is it going to place too much strain on the steering knuckle? Because that's a lot more leverage sitting way out there. It just looks a wee bit ridiculous to me. I think if you hit a rock or something like that, it's going to flick that wheel around quite quickly, and could put a lot more stress on all the steering linkages and possibly even flick that steering wheel around quickly. Anyway, I'll have a think about that, and I'll get this pivot arm off and put a grease nipple in there. You can see how dry it is in there. If it ever had any grease in there, it's long gone. Get rid of any swarf in there. That'll do it. That's another little improvement. What do you reckon, buddy? Good. It feels a bit safer now, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
All of your machines are my favourite.
You're onto it, buddy. Do you think we need any more tractors?
Yeah.
Yeah? Couple more?
We need heaps.
Heaps more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, don't tell Mum that though, eh?
I won't.
Good boy. It's a lot freer with that grease in there, isn't it, mate? Easier to steer. Yeah. You can do it, man.
It is so much better.
Yeah. Alright, we better drain this radiator and put some nice fresh antifreeze in there. Bring out that coolant.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Fix her up.
Yeah.
Pretty brown.
Let's fix her up. He's really lumpy.
Yes.
He is.
That means it won't get stuck in the mud.
No.
What?
it can make mud prints.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's nearly drained, is it?
It is. It is dry.
You're right, it is. So we can turn that tap off. And we'll put some nice new stuff in there.
Turn that tap off and put that new green stuff in.
That's right.
A bit more of a green drink.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's good.
That's all done. She's ready to go back to work, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go and drag some logs out of the bush, I think.
She's going back to work.
This is my quad bike track down to the stream, which is down there. The track sort of winds around this hill and down. We had a windstorm a while ago, so these trees were blown down, and there's quite a few more down there. Quite good firewood, this stuff. So I'll try and pull it out of here in logs, and then I can just cut it up further up the hill. See, there's quite a few more trees down there as well that I need to pull out. It'll be a good test for it. Right, I've cleared most of those trees away, just one more to take up. And I'm just about to the switchback, but I see there's a big slip that's come down there. So I'm going to have to get a little excavator in here to get rid of that. This is where it turns around and the track heads off down there. This section here looks alright, just needs a bit of trimming with the saw. And there's a stream just down there and the track goes right down to it. There used to be a track going across that stream and up that side of the hill, but it's been washed out, so this is as far as it goes. It would be good to be able to open up this track to get to the turbine, so I can check the pipes in the turbine without having to scramble up the creek. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to clear that slip. It's quite nice down here. So I'll pull this last load out of here and call it a day, I think. The old Kubota's doing really well. Hasn't missed a beat. It's a good little hauler actually. Perfect for these little trails where I can't get the bigger tractors through. So that's opened it up quite a bit. I just have to get a little excavator and tidy that last slip up and I'll be able to get right down to the stream.